clean on the other side. So this game is going to be about, how dirty and ugly are we willing to make it, and how difficult are we willing to make things on them. If this game is smooth and pretty and easy, they're too good and they're playing too well. Um, so I think that's what it's going to come down to, and we have to be able to do that all night. If you give them, opportunity, they can go on runs and increase leads and make it difficult to come back. So we got to, take it to the mud, so to speak, and see if we can make it difficult and kind of grind it out.
What does having those 2 days off to kind of recharge do for you? I mean, it's been a tough home schedule with how many games that you've had.
To be honest with you, this was more about the guys having opportunity to spend time with their family. We get so caught up in travel and moving, and that we very rarely get back-to-back days to spend with our family, and I think we all need that. So that was the focus for us these past couple days. Hope guys can get a little rejuvenated because of that time with their family, but spending time with the family is more important than all this. So,
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, JB.
What's up, Chris?
You've talked a few different times throughout the course of the year how you want to be at your best at the end of the year, not right now. What kind of markers are you looking for as the season progresses that let you know we're headed in the right direction?
It's obviously there's systematic things. You know what I mean? It's how we're moving the ball. Are we understanding concepts? Are we getting better at, those things that we believe are going to help us long term? And then it's the consistency. It's the amount of time in a basketball game that we're playing at our best. How many times do we make the right read over and over and over again? Like, that's how we'll tell if we're doing this. You're going to have bumps. You know what I mean? There's 82 games. You're going to have games where you just stink, and it just happens to everybody. But how consistent can you be in doing the things that we believe are going to make us a good basketball team?
So when you look at a game like Toronto the other night, for example, and if you guys had been trending in the right direction, you don't look at that saying, okay, that's a sign of regression.
No, I mean, one game isn't going to dictate, what we believe in or what we think about our group. We got it handed to us. There's no doubt about that. But, you look at what we've been doing, and I think we are improving. We are getting better. So, one game will never, be a tell for that for us.
You have basically 3 games left before the new year. Do you expect Ricky in any of those?
No.
Tom Winters, AP. It seems like Evan is having less moments where he gets in the lane and he's kind of thinking too much instead of acting instinctively. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think the more he touches the ball, the more everyone will see just how good he is, and the more comfortable he is. And I think that's what you're seeing as he's getting the ball. We've involved him in more pick and roll, so he's catching the ball in the pocket more often. His teammates are looking for him because they believe in what type of player he is, and then they know how he's willing to facilitate and he can make the next read almost seems effortlessly. So I think just the more he's involved, the more and more of those situations you'll see and the more comfortable he is.
About getting in the mud tonight, is that just stressing them defensively as often as you can?
Yeah, I mean, it's just making the game crowded. It's making it slow. It's protecting the paint. It's forcing them to take, and I know they are a mid-range jump shooting team, but if you can get them to shoot 17-footers instead of 14-footers instead of 10-footers, and just making things difficult, making things sticky. If you can disrupt the rhythm of the game, those are all things that we feel we're capable of and what we have to do.
Kelsey Rose, The Athletic. Going back to this offseason with Evan, the things you guys wanted him to work on throughout this summer, how have you seen those translate so far through these first couple months of the season?
I think, watching him work against smaller players when teams have decided to switch, you can see that he has his game plan, and he, for the most part, either scores or he gets fouled now. That was one of the big things that we wanted to see him work on. Obviously, he started trending and shooting more threes. We've seen him make big threes through that stretch as well in fourth quarters when we needed him. So I think those are all signs that he's, heading in the right direction. And then, he's just a phenomenal defensive player. He's got great instincts, knows how to protect the paint, protect the rim, and protect his teammates. So all those things have continued to grow.
Joe Barton, The Athletic. You said a couple times during the preseason and early in the season that Evan could be your best player right now without leading the team in scoring. Has that happened at any point so far?
I think there's been games that's happened, and I definitely believe there's been fourth quarters where that's happened. Where it's been huge offensive rebounds, big assists, different things like that. I think he's still working to consistently understand like what that looks like, and our team has to help figure that out. But I definitely think there's been moments where he's been our most impactful player. Again, when winning matters, and in those fourth quarters, I think we've seen it a few times for sure.
Joe G has kind of coach. It's been almost 2 years since Jared came over from Brooklyn. How has he changed kind of the trajectory of the team since he's been here?
I think, as difficult as it was early because of kind of where we were, like he gave us a centerpiece to build around. I know we always highlight our guards in the perimeter, but it's not easy to find, that inside piece that can dominate both sides of the ball. And I think we've seen that. And, if you're going to win in this league, you still have to win the paint. I don't care how many threes you shoot. You have to win the paint, and Jarrett gives us an opportunity to win the paint every night.
Anything else from the room? Oh, I'm sorry, Tim.
Tim Alcorn, Cavs Audioverse. Excuse me, Jimmy. So Brooklyn struggles early, the coaching change, Doc now takes over and they're on this tear 8 in a row. Are you seeing things they're doing differently, or what do you think has sparked the way they're playing right now?
From the outside looking in, it just appears that basketball is the main thing. You're hearing less noise about other things, and it seems like every conversation is just about basketball now. And when you have players the caliber of, Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, like if basketball is the main thing, they're going to be very difficult to beat. They're going to be extremely competitive. And that's what it seems like has been happening. I give Jock a lot of credit. Like it's not easy to take over in the middle of the year and try to make transitions and get people to kind of buy into what, your view is. I know he and Steve were extremely close, but they're not the exact same. So there were changes that were made, I'm sure. And to get people to buy in is a difficult thing. So you give him credit for that as well. But, it just seems like, they've quietly gone about focusing on basketball, and their talent level has shown.
Is this the Brooklyn team you thought you'd see?
Yeah. Again, you think about the level of talent that's on that floor and how dynamic they are and the things that they're capable of doing. There's no reason you would look at them and not see them as contenders. And I believe that's what they are.
JB, going back to what Joe G asked about Jarrett, obviously you guys liked him as an organization, otherwise you wouldn't have traded for him. But in what way has your view of who he is and who he can be evolved since getting him here?
When you're around a guy every single day, it gives you an opportunity to see the things that they're capable of that you don't just see on film. You don't see what motivates guys. You don't see what drives guys. You don't always see and know what their aspirations are and just how good they want to be. And when you spend time with Jarrett, you start to learn those things and understand that, he wants to be great. He's not one of those guys that, wants to be great to spite the team. Like he wants to be great in his role to help the team be as good as it possibly can be. And I think that's what you've seen him do here. Is he's taken steps being himself. You don't see him taking step back threes just because everybody believes that's what everybody should be doing now. Like you watch Jarrett every day, he's working on his footwork. He's working on his pick and rolls. He's working on passing out of the pick and rolls. He's communicating more as a defender and being the anchor of a defense. Like, he's trying to get better just so that the team can improve and not for his own gain.
Anything else in the room? Okay, that's the wrap.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, JB.
Thank you.